2 great fights in UFC 6, and then you fell a little bit short. You were a first-timer. What have you learned?
Well, Jeff, as you know, there's only one man in the world that can beat me, and that's myself. I did not come prepared for the altitude, and that's basically what happened. I just was not ready for the altitude. Next time, I will not have the handcuffs on my lungs to hinder me from being where I want to be, and that is on top of the octagon with a bunch of bloody bodies around me.
Okay, critics say you're brash, maybe overconfident, even arrogant. How do you respond to that?
I don't understand all those words. Brash, arrogant. Come on, I only went to a state college. I didn't go to a university. I don't care. Let me tell you something. People that are losers call you cocky. I'm a winner, and if you're a winner, you're confident. You don't misconstrue those 2 words. You're either a winner and you're confident, or you're a loser and you're cocky. Whatever you want to say about me, big deal. I know who I am, and you know who you are. I'm here, and you're not.
I'll tell you what, I heard the chant of tank, tank, tank throughout this. People seem to love you. You have a following. Are you going to be prepared? Are you going to be at the ultimate?
I will be at the ultimate. And believe me, anybody that is anyone will be there. They've been invited. If they don't show up, they must know that they're a loser in here. I will be there. I'm a winner.
What do you need to do to be a champion? Real quick.
You have to be prepared. End of story. You got to be every level. I'm hurrying. You got to be cardiovascular, mentally, physically, everything. You got to be there. I lacked cardiovascular last time. That was the only problem.
Okay, Tank, we wish you the best of luck in your preparation.
Hey, Jeff, the gold medalist wrestler. What else can you ask for? Wrestlers are the martial arts of America.
Back to you, Bruce.
Coming up, the super fight, Shamrock against Taktarov. Taktarov, the world Sambo champion. Ken Shamrock, the Japanese pancrase shoot fighting champion. So Michael Buffer will introduce the super fighters right now.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, SEG Sports Corporation presents the Russian Bear versus The Rock. This is the UFC 7 Super Fight. Your referee in charge once again will be Big John McCarthy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Buffalo, New York, are you ready? Let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first to my left, from Gorky, Russia, fighting out of Dallas, Texas. He holds a 4th degree black belt in the art of jiu-jitsu. He's a 4-time European and Asian Jiu-Jitsu champion, Russian national judo champion, world Sambo champion, and he is the reigning ultimate fighting champion, 6 feet tall, 215 pounds, the Russian Bear, Oleg Taktarov. And his opponent across the octagon, representing the art of shoot fighting, from Lockford, California, he's the Pancrase Association World Champion, 31 years old, 6 feet tall, 215 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the defending UFC Super Fight Champion, the master of the octagon, he is Ken Shamrock.
A 30-minute time limit with a 5-minute overtime. 50,000 to the winner, 25,000 to the loser, 30,000 if it's a draw for each. Shamrock 31, Taktarov 27. The weight the same, the height equal.
It's just a matter of technique and who is on tonight.
All right, it's for the best of the best. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on!
Super fight underway. Shamrock and Taktarov.
Shamrock said early on in the interview that he was going to use his jab, he's going to use some punching before he got into the grappling. Let's see if he sticks to his game plan.
Neither one really wanting to close the distance, too. A little left hand there by Shamrock. No damage, just an attention getter.
These two sparred together in the past. Now they're doing it for real in the octagon.
Seems as though Taktarov's trying a little bit of foot sweep action there, both inside and outside. Short kicks, low to the ankle.
Wow, let's get it going. Come on.
Long feeling out process. Shamrock goes to the top.
They're in the guard. Taktarov got the legs wrapped now. Now it's going to be a slow attrition battle. This might end up with John breaking it and bringing them back to their feet. It'll be a matter of how much Shamrock tries to do in here.
Well, we know Oleg wanted this. He wanted to get on the ground. He didn't want to stay up and punch and kick.
Shamrock punching to the kidney. And Taktarov doing what he usually does on the ground, punching to the back of the head. This time of Shamrock.
Can you use a thumb in the throat, Don? Is that an effective way to choke?
No, I don't think so. I really, with your arms in the position that his are, with the conditioning that Shamrock's got, I don't think it's gonna do much except get his attention. I don't think it's gonna get him to quit.
Shamrock with a headbutt. It was kind of to the side, wasn't straight above his head.
You gotta be very careful with a headbutt. You could end up cutting yourself just as easily.
Absolutely. 2 minutes in.
Keep working. Come on, keep it working.
Taktarov in the guard.
Without doubt, this is a waiting game now. Shamrock knows after his fight with Gracie how to neutralize the guard. It's just that Taktarov knows the guard is a defensive position. He's going to wait. He has done a little bit of punching to the back of the head, what they call rabbit punching, but I don't really think that's going to have much effect against Shamrock.
Shamrock landed a decent right hand to the face of Taktarov, and again tries a headbutt. Another headbutt by Shamrock. Shamrock's going to have to be the aggressor here because he knows Taktarov would prefer to just wait and find his spot.
Well, does that mean Taktarov is fighting, or does that mean Taktarov wants to lay there?
I don't know.
A couple real good rib shots there by Shamrock.
Headbutt by Shamrock. Again, it's to the side.
It's the cheek. He's catching Oleg right there on that right cheek.
And remember, Oleg opened up a cut over his eye in his first UFC, UFC 5. And we don't know how well that healed.
It's above his left eye, and that was one of the things people worried about. If Oleg got cut, it doesn't matter how tough you are, a doctor can stop the fight.
Again, punches to the kidney by Shamrock. And punches to the back of the head by Taktarov.
I'll tell you what, that's going to hurt his hand. I mean, you're punching a real tough area of the head. All bone.
Keep it working. Come on, Oleg, let's go. Come on, Oleg, let's work.
I've broken my hands with gloves on 10 times. I can tell you that the skull is more than a match for the hand.
Again, the headbutt by Shamrock to the cheek. Crowd getting restless. It doesn't take much for these Buffalo fans to ask for action.
You know, there is a lot of action going on out there.
All these little punches, rabbit punches, they're kind of getting into a rhythm in which is setting up their opponent to try to go to something else. Once you create a routine, it's easy to fall into it, and then all of a sudden you can change tactic, maybe surprise the opponent and really catch him.
Right, it's kind of a softening up process.
Shamrock is very comfortable here.
He's digging those shots to the ribs.
He's getting a bit of leverage on those.
Shamrock landing with the right hand.
Keep it working, come on. Doing good.
always wondered, a knee right to the tailbone. What would a knee to the tailbone do?
Well, it wouldn't do anything good, but from the position his legs are outside, he can't get to that tailbone right now.
This is the way Taktarov started against David Tank Abbott.
It seemed as though Taktarov wanted to circle his body towards the middle of the octagon, like he didn't want to get pinned up against the fence.
Shamrock trying to free that right hand.
That's great awareness, knowing where you are in the octagon, not wanting to get pushed up against the chain link fence, maybe give Shamrock a bit more leverage. Seems Kenny now starting to create some distance here, maybe look for an opportunity.
And you saw Taktarov reach for the ankle. He has said several times that he could have broken a limb of Shamrock's in the gym when they trained together. He was hoping to exploit that tonight. We'll see.
He's got that elevator position. One leg is underneath. He's going to use that to try to create leverage to try and turn Shamrock over to his back.
6 minutes in, right hand by Shamrock. He had a big right hand against Gracie in their super fight.
Boy, when he puts his toes on that chain link fence, that is a wide open shot anywhere near the tailbone, the crotch, even the leg.
Shamrock setting himself up for a headbutt, maybe, Don?
Well, I think what Shamrock needs to do is get a little clearer from Oleg and just surprise him, come in very quick with that head. It's not going to happen if they're just grappling. He's got to get free if he's really going to use it. I mean, it's going to do nothing but irritate him and over a period of time cause damage. If he wants to get a good shot, it takes distance. That's one thing you know as a striker. You can get yourself too close to an opponent to do any damage.
How about an open hand to the ear, Don? Maybe, you know, pop an eardrum, that kind of a thing? You said you've ruptured eardrums before.
Right. I think he can do some damage, but, you know, I think in a position like this, there's so much leveraging, and there it is. That's the kind of sneak technique I think he needs to do. More of get back, get away, and then come in with something.
Some people may wonder, well, why doesn't he just throw punches? It's because when he starts to really get the leverage and pull that arm back to throw it, Taktarov feels it coming.
Right, he could actually possibly reverse on him if he gets back too far.
Exactly.
So Taktarov using the fence as leverage, and now Shamrock trying to move him off the fence. Taktarov again peppering away at the back of Shamrock's head. And it's still Taktarov on the mat, Shamrock on top. 8 minutes into the super fight.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Shamrock freed the right hand there.
Good shot.
Another one.
That's what he needs to do.
Short chopping right.
It won't take too many of those to the face, the soft tissue of the face around the eyes, the nose. If he pops the nose, it's going to really disorient the car.
The other threat is a cut. He has been cut before.
Right. Headbutt Shamrock. Delivered closer to the eye. Right around the eyebrow.
He's trying a pressure point. I don't really...
Another headbutt by Shamrock.
I'll tell you though, Oleg's got that square face. He seems so tough. It's almost as though these shots really aren't having an effect on him. He's got two very well-conditioned athletes, very tough athletes in the mental sense, and then of course great tacticians.
And you also have Taktarov in a position where he's best, on his back.
Come on, let's get it going.
John McCarthy telling the fighters to get it going. Shamrock, good solid body
shot.
blow.
That was a good shot.
You could almost hear the percussion out here, hear that thump.
Another right hand by Shamrock, and he's doubling up on it. So often in boxing, you hear cornermen saying, double up, triple up on that punch. Usually it's the jab, but here it's the right hand by Shamrock.
You know, but the same token, Taktarov is going to the back of that head, and he's been hitting it for 10 minutes now. With his palm, he's hit it with his fist.
Well, he's changed it to the palm. It seems as though he's not going to hit it with the knuckles anymore.
Well, they could be injured by now.
And we heard you yesterday, Don the Dragon Wilson, saying use that palm. I use that palm so often.
Right, well, you know, we use it in martial arts to break bricks, boards, everything else. I mean, it only makes sense that you'd rather use that than the knuckles of your fist against the head.
Those are big, solid right-hand body.
That's what I meant. You see, he almost snuck in a right to the jaw then. And he goes to the body and then go to the jaw. It's a standard practice for a striker. If you want to hit the head, hit the body first. Get the attention there, then you sneak one in.
Solar plexus, there's the shot to the head. Good call. Bob Shamrock, Kenny Shamrock's dead, watching from his corner, holding the towel, actually wearing it. He'll never throw that in unless Kenny's in a very, very dangerous position.
I used to always joke when I fought that don't bring a towel, bring a shovel. You can't fight barehanded.
Bob Shamrock opened up the Home for Boys way back in 1968. Since that day, he's had over 800 sons come into the home. Foster children have found a safe haven in the Shamrock's home. In 1977, Ken, a troubled 13-year-old, was adopted, learned discipline, dedication, and love under the roof of Bob Shamrock.
And the one cardinal rule Shamrock doesn't want to do, and I'm sure he won't do it, is reach back and try to throw one of Taktarov's legs by him, thinking that he can get out of this guard position, maybe improve it, because as you take your arm back and throw one leg by, you leave your other one behind to be submitted. Sometimes Taktarov will bring one leg all the way up close to Shamrock's shoulder, and it's almost as though he's baiting him just to hook it. And when he does that, that leaves his trailing arm in a very vulnerable position.
Ken Shamrock up top, Oleg Taktarov on the mat as the super fight continues. Taktarov chopping away at the head again with the palm. And Shamrock content to play the position from above.
Love to ask one of these fighters right now, would they rather go back to their feet, except in this guard position, you know, Taktarov really has no recourse unless Shamrock makes a mistake.
No blood on the canvas. 12 and a half minutes in, and the crowd gets restless again as Shamrock nails a right hand to the face of Taktarov.
He needs to get that distance for a good strike. But you know, he's gotten far enough to land a good, solid elbow if he would just use one.
I wonder if he thinks if he misses and drops to the side of Taktarov's head, if that's enough momentum going sideways, that Taktarov might be able to reverse positions.
Maybe that's it.
Certainly in this position, you're not going to see any big blows. None of them has to make a mistake.
Well, the big rule for a puncher is get your body behind a punch, and you can't from this ground position.
And Don, are you less likely to get a good, clean, hard blow in there because you can't take the chance defensively of exposing yourself?
Well, absolutely. If you back up too much, he's going to get away from you. But you have to back up a little bit to get some distance to throw a punch. So you're in a catch-22. I see blood coming from Oleg at this point.
It looks as though on his left eye, side of his eye.
That's where the punishment was before in UFC 5.
There it is, the right hand.
There it is. And that is the area where Oleg suffered a cut in UFC 5.
And you got to believe that as soon as Shamrock sees that blood,
he'll go for it.
He's going to take his head, move it to the other side, and start those little headbutts. And there it is.
I'm telling you, I think these guys got an earpiece. They're listening to you, Jeff.
Well, it's the same tactic he used against Gracie. Pac Gracie gave him a mouse, and he turned that mouse into a watermelon. By the end of the fight, even though it became a draw, it looked as though Gracie had lost.
Another headbutt by Shamrock in there. Right hand to the head of Oleg Taktarov by Ken Shamrock.
Conditioning now will become a factor. They've gone long enough, and oh, John's going to break it and bring him up.
John McCarthy separates the fighters close to the 15-minute mark.
Get ready to go.
And I would think Taktarov's got to be careful right at the beginning of this.
Right, he looks more...
There's a huge welt on the right side of Taktarov's face.
He looks quite a bit worse for the wear and tear.
There's a huge welt.
You ready? Well, let's get it on. Come
Here
on.
they go again. Back on their feet. Shamrock and Taktarov.
Either side of the face now of Taktarov is very vulnerable. Oh, a punch right there on the release would have been beautiful.
You know, Ken's not a great puncher because he could be throwing some stiff jabs right now and really opening those cuts up. Short right there.
And back we go again to the guard.
This is where Taktarov wants to be, especially now. He knows he's vulnerable. It's not a question of whether he feels pain or whether he wants to get up.
Wow, there's the huge welt, as you said, on the right side of Taktarov's face, close to the eye, and he's got the bleeding from the left eye. Either way, he's going to be a bloody mess at the end of this night.
Look for the headbutts again.
One thing we said about Taktarov, he has an incredible threshold of pain.
Well, he's smart enough to keep Ken as close to him as possible when he's in this position. Come on! To keep her from getting that distance to throw the punches.
You always... I've read in many books, and Don, I'm sure you've heard it, in the martial arts world, it's always been rumored that you can give that vital strike where you can hit the person, but it doesn't show up for a while later. Is this possible from this position, or is that just folklore?
I think that's kind of a movie magic, we call it. I don't think there is any soft spot that you can hit that will work later on or ever.
Come on.
That blood will start sneaking into the left eye of Taktarov, and if it does, his vision will become impaired. Shamrock with a right hand to the solar plexus. I mean, he nailed it right on the butt.
Those shots are going to take the wind and the endurance out of Oleg.
And those punches will last with you for the whole night. It's the accumulation in the stomach.
Come on, let's work.
Eventually, you lose your air.
Body shots have the effect of just basically taking all your endurance and conditioning right away from you.
The great boxing trainers will tell you if you keep working the stomach, eventually the guy will go easily. Shamrock with a right to the head.
Softened up that body and went right back to the head.
It almost looks like there's a second cut above the first one now.
Taktarov is right now taking a tremendous amount of punishment.
Right, he cannot really launch anything offensive from this position.
Unless Shamrock tries to back out. It's only a counter position. Shamrock exposed that in the Gracie fight.
Shamrock's going for it. Another headbutt.
He'll keep trying to keep the bleeding going.
He's just grinding his forehead into it.
Shamrock with a methodical attack. Nothing huge, just steady, combative, solid action.
Come on, get it going.
John McCarthy doesn't like it. He wants more action.
Well, you'd like to see something out of there, and really that puts the impetus on Shamrock. He's on top.
Another right hand.
You can see the blood on the knuckles of Shamrock now. And you notice Taktarov has not struck Shamrock in the back of the head in quite some time. You wonder if either his arms are tired or if his knuckles are sore or maybe potentially broken.
What is Shamrock working for there, Jeff?
He's looking for the right hand again. He's trying to load up that right hand and give it a shot. There's a good shot to the neck. Look at that.
Let's go.
He could really bring one around. Just there you go.
I really feel when he rears back like that, gets that much distance, if he snuck in a tight elbow, forearm into the face, it would do more damage than just the knuckles of his fist. He's just kind of gotten into the habit of just sneaking this right in there. But that elbow is right there for him to land.
See if Shamrock...
He's got room again. He's going to come in with that right. There it is.
Shamrock loads up on the right. There's the headbutt. It's like a 1-2. Right hand, headbutt. Right hand, headbutt.
It's the combination of different body parts we were talking about earlier. Right. Smart tactic.
And right now, if he's going to go back to this body, I think, because he needs to get Taktarov to release this lock on him if he's going to do any more punching to the head.
Oh, big right hand by Shamrock.
Good shot, and that got the release.
And he's talking to Taktarov now. And Oleg does not look good as the blood continues to stream.
Oleg is so tough. You have to give him so much credit.
Let's keep it going.
He's taken such pounding.
You know, Ali used to have the habit of talking to opponents, and it psychologically demoralized them.
Bob Shamrock looking on.
Look for Taktarov here. He looks like he has double overhooks. This is a wrestling position. He might be able to reverse Shamrock if Shamrock's momentum and center of gravity move too close to Taktarov's head.
Up, here we go again. Up on their feet. Shamrock has some swelling a little bit on the left side of his face, close to the eye. This is the second reset. It's at the 20-20 mark.
I want you to work.
From the looks of him, I think fatigue-wise, Shamrock has the advantage. He's not quite as tired as Oleg.
Second reset. As bloody as Taktarov looks, he's still tremendously conditioned. First time I've seen Shamrock breathing a little bit.
See some punching here. I'm sure that's what Shamrock would like to do.
Shamrock's body covered by his own sweat. Taktarov's face covered by his own blood.
Boy, I can't believe Shamrock's not trying to press this. There's a good left hand. You're right, Don. Some jabs here could do tremendous damage to an already swollen Taktarov face. Not in the guard yet. He's not in the guard. He's close to it.
He doesn't have both legs outside, though.
He's in a position where, he's really in a bad position. If Shamrock, he could get rolled. You see him posting. If his head comes too close to Taktarov's, he'll try and roll him. This is that elevator position that Taktarov has seen before. He's back to the guard.
Let's go, let's work.
Clearly, the offensive power has been demonstrated by Shamrock. Defensively, Taktarov's done a good job to keep himself in it.
Taktarov had a little bit of a chance there, though, Jeff, didn't he? Or was it the fact he didn't have enough power?
It was Shamrock kept his weight over his knees. He didn't lean forward. If he had leaned forward, he could have been rolled. Shamrock's wrestling ability there kept him in it. Didn't allow him to make that crucial mistake.
22 minutes into the super fight. Bruce Beck, Jeff Blatnick, Don the Dragon Wilson with you from the Octagon in Buffalo, New York. Oleg Taktarov and Ken Shamrock. Shamrock has been in that same position with Taktarov in the guard throughout this super fight. There have been 2 resets, and at 30 minutes, there will be a 5-minute overtime. Shamrock not landing those right hands as well as he did earlier.
That's because his right arm is underneath. Oleg is doing a much better job now of, instead of thinking offense, he's purely working the guard. All he's going to do is try not to get hurt. That's the first offensive punch we've seen Taktarov throw in a while.
And Shamrock answered with his own right. And another. And a short left.
You know, I like the way Shamrock kind of sneaks those punches in. You know, he doesn't rear back and telegraph them. It's 1 minute he's wrestling, the next minute it comes out of nowhere.
Comes a headbutt. Oh, this could be a good chance for a headbutt. Oh, sneak right hand again.
There it is.
Taktarov's blood around the left eye, the right cheek heavily swollen.
There you can see why the guard is so effective. With the arms on the outside like that, it's hard for Kenny to get a punch in. Oh, good rib shot. You can feel that.
Shamrock was criticized by some who said that he tried for a draw against Gracie.
That's because Gracie has such a fan base that they all were expecting, well, why didn't Shamrock try to beat Gracie there? It's because the guard is basically designed to beat the top guy if he gets too offensive. The guard is not an offensive weapon. It's that simple. It is a defensive weapon that can be offensive if the top man makes a mistake.
I think what Ken proved, though, in that fight with Gracie is that Gracie couldn't beat him.
Exactly.
And that's an accomplishment itself.
Come on. The referee here could actually bring them back to their feet.
And the crowd boos, looking for action. Almost 25 minutes. There is a 30-minute time limit, a 5-minute overtime, and if nothing is decided, then it will end in a draw.
And I really believe at this point that's all Taktarov is trying to do. I mean, that is no criticism. In a survivalist fight, which this is, that's a smart tactic at this point.
And as far as Shamrock is concerned, Don, if he gambles, he really loses the advantage of controlling the fight, which he has right now.
Right, he doesn't want to go off balance and lose the leverage and make a mistake right now.
Against most fighters, you would think that he would have worn him down already, but Taktarov is so tenacious.
There's that thumb choke to the throat. That got Taktarov's attention. Maybe right now is the time to throw a hard. There you go. That's what you got to do. Go from choke to a punch to a headbutt, back to a choke.
Come on, let's work.
Body shot by Shamrock.
Back to working his ribs. He's working the low end. This is setting him up for the high end. There it is.
If we had punch numbers tonight, it would be about 8 or 9 to 1 in favor of Shamrock. Now back to the headbutt.
Oh, Oleg doing a little headbutt, but I'm not sure if that's so smart when you have a cut.
No, in the position he's in, he can't get his forehead under Shamrock. Basically, he'll be headbutting with his cheek.
That blood's starting to flow again pretty well. It's leaking right up into the hair now. Oh, good left hand.
Taktarov ended up in the hospital after his last bout with Tank Abbott, but that was because of the altitude as much as anything else.
Those are good shots to the lower ribs.
Again, Shamrock chopping away, doubling up on the right hand.
Those are the shots that have gotten Oleg to totally release that head.
Exactly.
And that's what when he gets sneaks that right in, when he releases the head, he sneaks the right in. So they're definitely hurting.
Good call, Don. That's exactly what he's doing.
Come on, it's a warning. Let's go, Oleg.
See if he'll follow up with a headbutt or something, if he can get some leverage up towards Taktarov's head.
Taktarov on his back, where he has been the entire fight.
This is really all up to Shamrock now to try to solve the guard and beat Taktarov. Taktarov is not doing anything to try and win.
And they will stand again. Third reset.
He's still ready to go. He's still ready.
Taktarov walks very slowly to his corner. Shamrock moving much more brisky now. Taktarov bloody.
They've closed the distance with one another now. They're getting in a little bit tighter to one another. Taktarov almost caught Shamrock. Good left hand.
There's the jab I was talking about. He could pop him in the face all day with that.
What about a right hand from Shamrock? That's his big out punch. He used it against Gracie. Taktarov showing some punching ability. And Oleg has told us a number of occasions he likes to punch.
Working good. Let's go.
Well, neither of these guys are great punchers or kickers, but right now at this point, both of them are so softened up. I think they can land a good shot. Now they're back to the grappling again.
That's Taktarov's blood on Shamrock's left arm.
Good move by Shamrock. That's a great move by Shamrock because he got out of a wrestling position and he's allowed to strike again. He needs to go for the strikes. Really, that's what he wants. Taktarov sitting here saying, "Hey, what are you going to do to me?" That's not the attitude. It's what are you going to do to him?
Yeah, because time is getting short here.
Shamrock's nose is bloody, and that might have been from that punch that Taktarov threw just a couple moments ago. No real danger in that bloody nose. It just looks a lot worse than it is. Crowd starting If they go OT, it will be only 3 minutes, we are told.
Come on, let's go.
Taktarov
Get it
really
going.
seems to be going for a draw here.
Don't you kick. Don't kick. Go.
What was that? Don't kick. What was that?
I don't know.
That kicking was legal. Maybe with the shoes on, they're saying he can't do that.
Well, that could be correct.
He's got shoes.
I didn't know that was a rule.
Taktarov can kick. He's got the bare feet.
Good jab again. He really should be pumping that. 1, 2, doubling it up.
Well, they're not strikers. They're not boxers. They're not kickboxers. They're grapplers, really. That's their expertise. But you know, we had figured Shamrock was the better puncher, but it really hasn't turned out that way.
And Taktarov landed a very good left right to that bloody nose of Shamrock. And Taktarov's almost excited about being on his feet. There's the horn. 30 minutes in. 3-minute OT. 3-minute OT. It will start very quickly.
Great stamina, great tacticians. This match has it all. It may not have the punching brutality and quickness of a bar fight, but in terms of martial arts science or discipline, both of these athletes are doing a superb job.
And in terms of survival,
oh, that's the key in a fight.
top rate.
That's what Don, you're a defendo right now. That's exactly what these two are doing.
Stay right there.
Right. Well, you know, it's not that I'm not an offenso either, but defense first, offense second.
You're
You
a
gotta
counter
fight, you
guy.
understand?
Right.
Okay,
Ready?
Taktarov looks a lot
Let's get
better
it going.
than
Come
he
on.
did at the 22-minute mark. Maybe it's because he knows he's only got to go 3 more minutes. What he's got to watch for here is a big right from Shamrock. A pure boxing KO could not get out. Shamrock's almost better disengaging and punching.
That was a nice headbutt too. He brought it right up. Nice knee.
Way to go. Keep it going. Good.
This is overtime. If it ends in 3 minutes, we've got a draw.
I am amazed at the stamina these two have.
Here's where something could happen. A punch. Shamrock tried to land the uppercut. He did not score.
Good tactic though, catching Taktarov, bending his head down to avoid an overhead.
Taktarov's got to watch the straight right hand. A jab will not knock him down.
Ken needs to keep pumping that jab out there. That's what a boxer will use.
Oh, the right hand! And Taktarov barely moved.
I don't know why
Throw that jab out there and set up the right.
And I don't know why he didn't follow up that one right hand. Probably fatigue. Put everything in the one shot, open to knock him down or open up the cut.
Shamrock probably has the winning formula in that one hand. And that's probably the only way at this point.
There's blood in Taktarov's eye now. There's blood in Taktarov's eye. He's having a hard time seeing. He's squinting an awful lot now.
Knee by Shamrock. A minute 20 left in overtime.
I wonder if Shamrock even knows that Taktarov's having a hard time seeing. If he were to break clean, he'd catch it.
Keep it moving. Come on.
And that's the eye that would be susceptible to a right hand.
Look at it, look at it. You can see him squinting. He's having a hard time seeing out of it.
That's the cut from earlier that just dribbles into the eye. Shamrock breaks again and lands
See
the
that?
right.
He's trying to get out of there. Kenny must be tired. He's not pursuing.
A minute to go. Crowd getting up again. Taktarov, smart move for him.
Taktarov retreated. He doesn't want to get hurt.
I think he's going for the draw.
Oh, he definitely is. I think he's been doing that since the 20-minute mark.
Shamrock had his biggest chance in that last minute with the blood in Taktarov's eye, and both fighters on their feet. Headbutt by Shamrock. 20 seconds to go in this super fight in UFC 7.
This is not a point fight. This is a knockout or submission fight. And unless Shamrock can do it here, even though we could say he would have won on points, he will not get the victory, and there it is.
A draw in the super fight. Shamrock and Taktarov for Taktarov a moral victory. Shamrock, there's so many punches.
We said it was an even matchup, and we predicted it. Very even.
33 minutes.
Come on.
Taktarov, amazing defensive fighter.
Very good on defense, did a great job of keeping Shamrock off of him. Shamrock did a lot of offense. If it was a point contest, Shamrock would win it.
Going
but you
away.
need a knockout. You need a knockout or a submission.
So can Shamrock and Oleg Taktarov end up in a draw?
Ladies and gentlemen, the super fight has been declared a draw. Let's celebrate Oleg Taktarov and Ken Shamrock. 33 minutes a draw.
Common respect there.